just saw Being Eddie. Incredible documentary. I've seen a lot of documentaries on a lot of people. I think they're on the third or fourth Michael Jackson one. No disrespect to Michael, but I was really, really waiting for this one. There are few people in the world that can be recognized by one name. You probably have a friend that you call Frank, hey, Frank, and everybody knows, who you're talking about. If you walked into a particular bar, everybody might go, Norm, and they know that name, they know who it is. But there's people like Cher, Ali, Stallone, a few more, but of all of them, Eddie is a name that just needs to be said once, and you know exactly who you're talking about. That's how big his legacy is. And during his documentary, a lot of people came to speak. That's how you know your importance, by the people that you're surrounded by your friends, by your family, and whatnot. And so many prominent people came that I probably couldn't list all of them. But Dave Chappelle, Jerry Seinfeld, believe it or not, they had Charlie Murphy in there. And of course, it was pre-recorded because he is no longer with us. But Charlie Murphy, Arsenio Hall, Tracy Morgan, Chris Rock, John Landis, Adam Sandler, Michael Che, Kenan Thompson, Jamie Foxx, Kevin Rock, Rick James, Tracy Ellis Ross, and Richard Pryor. Spoke about him, of course, pre-recorded. He has impacted so many people, and the way he explained it was incredible. Growing up, he had Ali, and he saw how Ali was, and he basically took the world in the palm of his fist. And then he saw Richard Pryor, and how Richard Pryor was such an incredible actor and comedian. He said he wanted to be just like that. He wanted to have Richard Pryor's level of comedy. This documentary really allows us to take a look into his life, into his private life. One of the greatest comedians of all time, arguably the greatest comedian ever. Some people will debate it and say Richard Pryor, and I get that. It's really a flip of a coin because both of them are incredible. One of my favorite parts of this is how he's able to laugh through almost the entire documentary. So he's not just saying things that made me laugh out loud, because watching this, he's entertaining. You can't help it. I think if he sat there and watched the grass grow, in a few seconds you bust into laughter. It's just, he just has that type of aura. You can't help but to acknowledge him. Even though he said in the documentary he's the quiet guy, he goes into the room, he doesn't take over a room, he's not the guy, he just, someone else even said, I think it was Dave Chappelle said that when Eddie Murphy's in a room, you might not even know it, because he's just probably just sitting there sipping a soda or something, and he's quiet. And, that's his time, I guess, his personal thing. And that's cool. But if you're around him, you're probably going to be entertained anyway, regardless of what he's trying to do. He just generates that. And not only is he saying things that were funny to me, but he was saying things that were clearly funny to him because he laughs through the whole documentary. He speaks in high reverence to Richard Pryor and Red Fox and the sort like that, the people that came before him. And he talked about his brother Charlie and how he believes that we are all connected, basically all connected energy. And he believes that with that thought, Charlie is really still with us. You could tell that he loved it. He says, I miss my brother. You could tell. He talked about stories about them growing up. They had his other brother, Vernon. Uh, when I was in the service, his brother Vernon came out with a rap song. This beat is military, and I thought it was good back then, but that was like the 80s or something like that. But it was I thought it was good. And it's kind of cool that he was in this. They talked and everything. He talks about the length of his career and how almost through sheer determination he has kept going for so long, over 40 years. I mean, there's people who come out, they do one thing, and you're like, oh man, that was cool, and then that's it. He has been ongoing for more than 40 years, and that's a testament to his ability, his perseverance, like I said, his determination, and the admiration heaped upon him by the audience. Everybody loves Eddie Murphy. Um, Speaking of which, he also talked about his Saturday Night Live appearance and how they took a shot at him. And he said he wanted to make it clear that he wasn't mad at David Spade for giving that terrible joke about him. He was more upset with the SNL leadership, because when you write a joke or you're given a joke, he says it's got to go through a lot of hands before they say, yeah, you can say that on TV. So he said the whole upper management must have given that joke a thumbs up, and it was a shot at him. It was clearly a shot at him, like they were mad or something that he left and had the nerve to become successful without them. But he got over it, and he gave us one of Saturday Night Live's most incredible nights. He came back and he performed. And what I really liked was the monologue he had with Chris Rock and Dave Chappelle himself and Morgan Freeman. Did I say Morgan Freeman? Tracy Morgan. That was great. That was great. It was funny. His house. Most of this is recorded in his home, and the grandiose of his home, the scale of his home was incredible. There's a scene where he says, it's starting to get a little cold in here. Let's close the house. And where I'm from, you close the house, you go around, you close the doors, lock the doors, close the windows and such. This dude hit a button, trick, trick, and the roof closed. I was like, is that dude getting roof air? He's getting roof air. I never got roof air unless I was standing on a roof. But that dude got roof air. And you know what? He deserves it. He deserves some roof air. He's Eddie Murphy. Of course, he needs some roof air. All of these comedians got together to speak about the impact he had on their lives. All of them talked about meeting him when they were younger, watching him when they were younger. Pete Davidson talked about getting an Eddie Murphy tape. Kevin Hart talked about having a VHS, that he would play, his father would play. And when his father wasn't around, he'd play it. His father would be like, don't touch my Eddie Murphy tape. But he would touch it anyway when no one was home because he wanted to listen to it. It's hilarious. Eddie Murphy has that kind of effect on people. And not only that, I mean, he's a pianist. He plays the piano while he's in there. He's a guitarist. He plays the guitar. He's a singer, a producer, a director, an actor, a comedian, a father. All of these accomplishments, all of these incredible accomplishments, all of this money that he's made over the years and the whole shebang, he says that his true legacy will be his children. Come on. That's classic. That's Class C, and it's classic. His children will be his true legacy. How many of y'all out there would say that about your kids? But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Being Eddie. So much. I'm probably going to go watch it again. But I enjoyed this so much that I would give Being Eddie 10 bags of popcorn. 10 bags of popcorn. I didn't even get up to go get a drink, to pause it and get a drink of something. I was glued to the television the entire time. 10 bags of popcorn. Because that's what I think about that. More importantly, what do you think about that? Now that you had a chance to see the video, let's talk about it some more in the comments. And as always, if you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.